Hey buddy, hope you're traveling well. If someone told me there is a valley that blooms over an area of 82 square kilometers and that too at an altitude of over 10,000 feet, I wouldn't believe it. But then, you got to believe what you see. There are other alpine valleys in the world that blooms, but the scale and the diversity in which the Valley of Flowers in Uttarakhand does is beyond anyone's comprehension. To tell the least, there are over 360 recorded species of plants, out of which at least 31 are endemic to the Garhwal Himalayas. Wherever there are peaks, there are valleys. Most of you know that. But why doesn't every valley bloom like the Valley of Flowers? To understand that, we need to take a look at the timeline of the Valley of Flowers. Let's start from spring when the snow melts in April, May. What happens is the soil gets wet and the snow melts and seeps into the soil, awakening the seeds trapped inside it. By early June, most of the snow is gone, and by mid-June, the southwest monsoon reaches the valley, which almost gives the valley non-stop rains. And by the end of June, most of the plants have grown to between 2 to 3 feet in height, and as if they were in steroids. By July, some of the fastest growing plants start blooming, and actually July is the month when you can see the maximum diversity of flowers. By August, what happens is all the fast growing plants are done with their cycle of starting from seed to blooming, and by mid-August or late August, there is this one particular plant, the Himalayan balsam, Impatiens grandulifera. It takes over the entire valley, and then for a particular few days in August, you see the entire valley turn pink. In September, October, what happens is the flowers become berries and fruits, inviting birds. So the birds gorge on the berries and excrete the seeds with a thick coat of natural fertilizer. And come winter, everything goes under a thick blanket of snow for the next 5 months before the cycle of life repeats itself. And in the Valley of Flowers, this has been happening for at least tens of thousands of years. When I think about what these plants have gone through over a millennia, and when I equate it to many of us who have reduced them to nothing more than Instagram feeds, I wonder who is evolving and who is deteriorating. There is a river that originates from the far end of the valley, melting away from the Tipra Glacier. It was first documented by Colonel Edmund Smith, but I'm certain a Britisher wouldn't have named the river Pushpavathi, which means possessing flowers. So someone's been to the valley way before 1862 and named it Pushpavathi. When we say that the distance from Gangaria to the valley is about 4 kilometers, we mean 4 kilometers to the start of the valley. The valley is actually 8 kilometers long, and at places it's 2 kilometers wide. So you will have marked paths to all key locations of the valley, taking branches here and there, which means it's illegal to walk anywhere else other than the marked path. Once you cross the ticketing counter, there is nothing beyond, like no dabas, no snack vendors, nothing. So you will have multiple streams at regular intervals throughout the valley, even if you go to the last point, which is the Tipra Karak. So carrying a water bottle should be more than enough for most of you. And The first entry into the valley is at 7 a.m. and entry closes at 12:30 p.m. You got to exit the park at 4 p.m. and of course no one can camp inside the valley itself. When you buy a ticket to the Valley of Flowers, it's valid for 3 days. If you are like me, who is greedy to explore all reachable places of the valley, well, at the end of 3 days, you would understand that it would not be enough. So, if you are planning to spend entire days inside the valley, do carry lunch. And for selfie tourists, it's just a half a day affair to the entry and then back. Whatever category you belong to, I'm certain you don't belong to the litter bug category, because if someone can litter in a place like that, well, I don't think me or anyone else has the intelligence to cure. There are a lot more geology, story, and history to be shared about the valley, but I'm hell bent on making video short and crisp. And once a video crosses the 5 minute mark, I feel like I myself am Cinderella rushing to wind it off as soon as possible. If you want to know more about the valley, please leave a comment. I would gladly let you decide what the next video will be. Would it be Valley of Flowers 2, or should we move on to Hemkund Sahib? So until then, see you next Friday with a new video. So travel more, travel safe.